Hello and welcome to another show with RE7 Talks. Today, a former guest that we had already another podcast, Harry and Seb Talks. Hello, Harry. Good to
Hello,
see you
it's
here
a pleasure.
again.
Thank you. What a great intro as well. That's pretty snappy. I like it.
Yeah. Um, we have a new topic today that you brought to us, Automate Your Business with Coda IO, insights with you. Tell me a bit more, because the last time we did our last show was where you were doing web design, mainly with Webflow.
Sure.
That was last year. I can't remember when we had exactly. Was maybe September or something, and then it changed. So tell me a bit what changed and what got you into Coda.
Yeah, sure. So I guess the best way to describe it of like what I do for anybody who doesn't really know what Coda is I just help enterprise companies automate their internal processes and systems with AI and no code tools. One of those no code tools is Coda, which allows you to build
Mhm,
everything internally. I guess I'd always been using the tool for like the last 3 to 4 years. But one thing that
mhm,
I always noticed was that I really loved building the systems, and as well as that, not only did I enjoy building the systems, but I love talking about them on my YouTube. And I soon realized that hey, there's I'm not really talking a lot about website design on my YouTube, and I'm not really like thinking about website design in my day to day. I'm thinking about systems, processes, and building like little business apps to help automate different parts of my business. So based on that, I this time last year, an agency in Argentina who work mainly in the States
mhm,
said, "Hey, we'd love you to help us sort of do this for us." So that was like client number one. And since then, we've worked with like a couple of companies, and as you know, a business it just slowly ramps up and up and up to the point now where like our primary revenue driver is doing coder consulting. So yeah, it's been really fun, and I think like if you talk about ikigai and like finding your passion and your purpose, like this is a lot more aligned with what I want to do. It's what I get more excited about. So we've kind of decided that we're gonna um, sort of put to sleep the website design agency
mhm.
towards the end of this month, um, with the idea that yeah, we're just gonna go all in on Coda, which is really fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember when we talked already about the Webflow things, and you said, "Yeah, automate this. I put this in a form with Coda and so on." So, for the users that don't know Coda, can you give a short introduction what Coda is?
Yep.
You can even share the screen if you want to show something. So, just feel free to tell us more about Coda.
Sure. So, Coda Coda.io is a Notion competitor. It's essentially the same as Notion, except it just works a little bit differently in terms of
And
the
it's
way you
better,
need.
of course.
Yes, of course. And I would say that the main basis of it is that whilst Notion's built for like personal use, hobbyists and stuff like that,
Mhm,
Coda, which was started by the ex head of YouTube, Shashir, um, was created to, I guess, in some sense, be more for teams. So you've got teams like Coinbase using it, you've got teams like Figma using it, teams like Spotify using it. And the best way to describe it is that it can do two things. First of all, it allows you to build a team hub so you can have all of your stuff in one place, in one
mhm,
document. I think we all have had this problem in the past of uh, thousands of Microsoft Word documents, thousands of Google Docs. Coda kind of brings all of those together. And then the second part is that Coda has tables that can talk to each other, and you can click buttons that will take actions outside of your document. So, for example, if I have a table of all of my clients and all of their
mhm,
performance for that month, I can have a button next to each client which says send email. And you click that and it will send an email to your client automatically. And then you can automate that even further and have it just send automatically every week. And there's lots of small wins like that. So building team hubs and then looping back to the 2 points I made, like tool consolidation as well. So,
mhm.
you know, you run a marketing company. I'm sure you can tell me about how much it costs to run a marketing company, especially all those software subscriptions that add up.
Yeah.
And Coda's that tool that allows you to like sort of rebuild the functionality of those apps inside your own workspace, so you can save on those monthly incomes. And I mean, like, we're talking like you can replace Salesforce with Coda, and I know that the cost of Salesforce can quickly go into the hundreds of to
And I
thousands of
think also the customization is quite expensive
yes,
at Salesforce. So this Coda is like kind of like Lego. You build your own app how you need it with the documents, with the features you want, and I guess you can start with a small project to see how it goes, and then you can extend more and more in order to
yes,
run everything with one app. And I think this is what you mean. You don't need so many apps anymore. You can everything have in this one Coda app or thing. I don't know how it's called. Is it
I
called
would,
document or how do you call it?
yeah, it's a Coda doc,
Coda doc. Yeah.
and I would say that like it really is like the centerpiece, and then you're just gluing all of these other kind of
Hmm.
apps into it. But it's meant I guess the basis of it is like you want to treat it as like your central kind of driver. Um, but yeah, great tool. I love it. You should all use it if you're listening.
Awesome. And for the users, I guess they have trials or something.
That's correct. So uh, they're free tier. They've just upgraded it now, so there's not really much limits on it anymore. So you can probably achieve most of what you want to do. And then when it comes to like adding Gmail and stuff like that, you'll need a paid subscription. It's
Hmm.
very but to get started. And also, what's quite cool is if you don't need your team members to have the superpowers of uh, creating tables and creating apps and stuff like that, and they
Hmm.
just use it day to day, it's actually free for them to use, and
Awesome.
you only ever pay for the people who are actually doing like the making inside the documents.
Awesome. Or they can, you mentioned your YouTube channel, so they can watch on your YouTube channel if they want to know some practical examples, what you can build with it, or they just hop on directly on a call with you, so you can share with them and see how you can help them.
Yes, exactly. Harry Mackay Roper on YouTube. If you type in, you'll be able to find the channel quite
Yeah, we
easily.
will put it also in the description of the video, so they can go and outreach to you or via LinkedIn.
Amazing, amazing.
Awesome. Um, yeah, what else can you tell me about Coda? What are the latest updates? Do they have AI, for example? Because everybody's speaking about AI. Does Coda
Yeah,
also have something with AI?
I think it's quite
Mm.
interesting because the route that Coda went with was a little bit different to what a lot of other companies are doing, which is I don't know if you've seen with like Loom and Notion and a few other tools where like they'll give you the base product, which you'll pay like, I don't know, $10, $15 a month for. And then what's
Mhm.
quite cheeky is they'll add AI as an extra cost on top. So if you want to
Same
supercharge,
for ClickUp. Same for ClickUp. Add-on five euros. At the beginning
yeah,
it was a bit cheaper, 5 euros per user.
right? I don't know, like Coda went down a different route because they felt like that you shouldn't have to pay extra for the ability to use AI in your company. So they
Mhm.
give you credits. So you get a certain amount of credits every month for your standard subscription, and then you can use them. But like it's amazing, Coda AI. To give you an example of some stuff I built, we're working with a venture capital firm, building out a blog writing tool. So they use Webflow for their website. We
Mhm.
connect Webflow to Coda, and then they can essentially use ChatGPT. That's the kind of model that Coda uses to write this article. And then once it's
Mhm.
written, click a button and it gets uploaded to the site. So again, with this like idea of it being a central hub and gluing different apps to it, you can actually add AI capabilities to a lot of stuff. One of the cooler features that it does have is you can use it to auto tag content or data. So, for example, like I have a huge table of customer inquiries that are coming in, and I
Mhm.
need to kind of give those like a sentiment of like what's really important and what's not very important. in the past, we would just get like an assistant or maybe like a junior member of the team to go through that list every day and auto classify them for us. But now you can have an AI do it. So instead, that junior assistant will just log in, look at the list, and attack, the one
Mhm.
at the top. And I think like those small time hacks and savings will really be beneficial to a lot of companies. So if you're not using Coda yet, you should. Sebastian, you too.
I know, I know, I know. You told me several times. I'm still stuck with this ClickUp, but there might be, I mean, there might be a project because we also work more and more with Webflow. And that what you just mentioned, I mean, it's really awesome when you just let them fill it out with AI or write an article and you just publish it via Coda, so you don't have to log in and do other things. So this
Plus,
is
like
really cool.
Webflow is notorious for their backend to be like really not very user friendly for the end user. It's very slow to move between articles and stuff. So I think that's what's quite nice about Coda is like it can also be like just a content management system, but in the same format of like what we're all used to: Excel sheets, Word documents. These
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean, this is the old things where lots of companies are still using and employees are complaining and so on. And this is the next type of document. So you have a playground, a big playground, and you can combine things, and you are not like captured or caged in this one document, and you can't move out of it.
yes, exactly.
Awesome. So, what would you advise for businesses looking to automate their workflows with Coda? So, how would you tell them to start? Or
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's quite I'll tell you a story. So I had a client discovery call this week and talking to
Mhm.
the client, and they're running a very successful business in the US, in Texas. It's scaling really hard, and she's a bit all over the place at the moment in terms of what she's going to do. Um, and she was saying to me, like, I have so many ideas. I want to do this and this and this and this, and I don't really know where to start. And she had a little bit, I think, of like analysis paralysis, where you see everything and all the opportunities, and you don't really know where to start. There's a really good book by Gary Keller called One Thing,
Mhm.
which I teach in my workshops, which is all about picking just one thing to focus on and
Yeah.
thinking about like what's going to make the biggest impact in our business right now. So, for example, um, we decided that just like having a hub where she could see all of her client tasks, all of her client projects, and
Mhm.
and then have a CRM that houses all of that. So you have the CRM, the projects that come under each client, the tasks that come under each project. And we figured out that if we did just made that one thing to begin with, the very first thing,
Mhm.
we would have like a major impact on her business because right now she's kind of managing all of that in her head or on paper,
Oh my God.
classic. Um, and yeah, so that would be it. I think like really just try and think about like what is the one goal we have right now? What's the one thing that's going to make the biggest impact on our business? Like integrating AI to do something that will like remove 3 hours of time from one of my employees and instead automates it. Like really think about those kind of wins. Like how can we make something that's going to have like a financial impact or a time impact where we're going to win back some stuff. Don't just do automations that are like flashy and everybody says, oh, it's really cool to do that, and then there's no real
Need,
impact.
need to be practical. Need to be practical. And for her, I mean, you can't scale a business if you have everything in your head.
Yes.
The space in your head is normally limited. So if you have at least 50 or 100 clients, this system doesn't work. So the system needs to be replaced. And I mean, this is a great example that you just gave this one thing, but it helps you so much because then you have much more space in your head for other things that you need to do. And then you do the process again. You think, hey, I need lots of people for this, or this is a really tiring task. How can I automate this? And then you go step by step to the next thing and you extend Coda.
Yeah, I agree. And it's just like that, right? Like step by step. Don't if you do too much at the beginning, you're probably going to give up on the tool and throw it away and not be happy with it and go back to using ClickUp or
Yeah.
Monday.com or these other like project management tools. But you really should give it a go. I would recommend everybody just trying it out. There's a great amount of templates that Coda provided out of the box that will get you
Free
started.
templates.
Yep. Yeah.
And how would a collaboration with you look like? So how does it work? Because you mentioned you had a first call, so I guess it's the discovery call. And how does it go then?
Yeah. So we actually offer a free trial in our company, so you can sign up for a free trial. You get 7 days for free. In those 7 days, we'll do a discovery call with you, and by the end of the discovery call, we would have helped you figure out what is your one goal. We'll build a list of a requirements table from that one goal of like, here are the things we need to build. And
Mhm.
then we also do a little bit of brainstorming. So we'll think about some pain points that you're kind of feeling right now that we can
Mhm.
focus on after the initial project. Then if you're happy with it, the free trial ticks over. We'll give you a little bit. We'll give you a document with like that list of requirements that we put together, and just see if there's any more information that we need to get from you.
Mhm.
And then once that's done, we'll put together an MVP. So we think about Coda documents that we build like apps. So recently we built like an OKR app for a company so that they can input all of their OKRs for the year, KPIs, and then
Okay.
deliver. And it's quite cool because we think like an app mindset. The idea is that our clients should never really have to update the app themselves. They can always get us to do it. So we try and use buttons everywhere that we can, and really create like an app-like experience for them. Um, Once the MVP is done, give us a little bit of feedback. We'll get it out, start getting it tested. But we like to pride ourselves on like we're like enterprise grade developers. So our builds are extremely clean, and we like to think that anybody can come along and start like editing them afterwards without any issues. So that's a real bit tailwind. After that first sort of build is done and out, we then start to think about like what's the next thing, and what's the next thing, and what's the next thing, because for us it's about like we really want you to feel like you're getting value out of your subscription. And in order to do that, not only do we have to hit it out of the park with the apps that we build, but we also want to make sure that we feel like a partner to your business. So we're growing with your business
Mhm.
as we save you time and make you more money and get more time back to your staff. We'll be able to grow with you in that regard.
So like the Coda doc, you're upgrading it with new features step by step. And so the business can grow and the Coda doc can grow and you can support the business then.
Exactly that, and it's like there's multiple teams that will be like using Coda, obviously. So like maybe the investment team need help with a very particular challenge, and then after that, maybe like the executive assistant team or the marketing
Mhm.
team need a help, and we'll move from department to
Yeah.
department based on requirements, realistically.
Awesome. Sounds great for me. I mean, the new businesses that wanna hit it off, they should give it a try, get in contact with you and trying out Coda. I had another question regarding, how is it with mobile? Because you said an app, do you need to do some responsiveness, like you have it with website that needs to fit for website or for mobile app, or does it this it automatically, or how do I have to imagine this?
We tend to advise clients not to use the Coda mobile app at the moment. Um,
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the company's still quite young, and the experience that they provide on mobile is pretty poor. So we try and keep most of the experience to a desktop. However,
Okay.
all of the Coda tables and stuff like that, they fall down responsively, and we don't have to do anything there. Like Coda does that automatically. So if you want to quickly
Mhm.
check on your phone, like tasks that you've got, or notifications that you've got, or reply to a comment from a staff member, you can totally do that. I just like to think that we keep most of the interaction to a desktop experience, just because unfortunately Coda Mobile is slow, and there's a there's just issues.
There might come more. I mean, there need to be coming upgrades, and the same they will do what you're doing for Coda docs for your clients. Also, Coda will probably do with their Coda docs. So
Yeah,
I guess they will also manage this soon.
yeah, and I mean, like if you look at companies like Coinbase, Figma, Spotify, like they're these huge enterprise companies that have like hundreds of people on their team, hundreds of people using Coda, and they get around it. So I don't think it's too much of a blocker for people to sort of get started.
Yes, if you can do the main things with it, as you mentioned, then should be fine. And most people work normally on a laptop at least, and during the working day, not only on the phone.
Yeah,
So it should be probably manageable.
absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I would just like to say that I think a lot of people can feel very lost when it comes to automation and stuff like that, or maybe they don't have a very good idea of like how it can benefit them. But
Mhm.
I would just say like if I could give you 4 hours of your work week back, or a whole day of your work week back, what would that look like for you? And yeah, if you have any questions about like how can you get started, drop a comment on Seb's video. I'll be watching, and I'll reply to as many of you as I can.
Or any question, just write it in the comments
That's it.
and we will answer it. Or if there's something you want to hear about it, that maybe we should do another show where Harry can show some examples, just put it in the comments. Happy to do so. Thank you very much, Harry, for being my guest today
Thank you.
and telling us a bit more about Coda. And yeah, looking forward to your journey into Coda. And I guess it will be not the last time that we have you on our show here today.
No, 100% not. Thanks so much. Great to be here.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.